We've all been there. You're in the middle of a project, and suddenly the cursor turns into a spinning wheel. The screen locks up, nothing clicks, and the entire system just stops responding. When this happens, the most common reaction is to reach down, hold the power button for 5 seconds, and force the entire machine to shut down. But we don't have to take a sledgehammer to the problem. Instead, you can perform a surgical removal, cutting out only the single frozen program in a matter of seconds, while computer running perfectly. To do this, you don't need any special IT software. All you need is a standard Windows or Mac computer and your keyboard. Having a specific path to resolve a freeze means you can stop waiting for the system to recover and start clearing the blockage yourself. Both major operating systems have built-in command centers running in the background. On Windows, it's the Task Manager. On Mac, it's the Activity Monitor. If you are on a Windows machine, you can summon this tool instantly by holding down 3 keys together: Control, Shift, and Escape. On a Mac, you press Command and the spacebar to open your Spotlight search. Type in the words Activity Monitor and hit Enter. When the window opens, you are going to see a wall of text, fluctuating percentages, and hundreds of processes jumping around. It looks intimidating. We bypass user-friendly menus to access this raw data because it gives us an unfiltered look at exactly what the computer's processor is doing. It shows us every single program currently running, which is exactly what we need to find the one that failed. At the top of this interface, ignore the other columns and focus entirely on the headers labeled CPU and Memory. Clicking the CPU or Memory header forces the list to reorganize. Applications draining the most resources are pulled out and pinned at the top. A downward arrow confirms the list is sorted from highest to lowest drain. Looking at this sorted list, you will see files with strange names you don't recognize. Do not click or interfere with those. They are background system processes keeping your computer safe. You are strictly looking for familiar desktop applications like Microsoft Word or Google Chrome or Adobe Photoshop, specifically the one currently frozen on your screen. Getting the system to organize this data means you never have to guess or manually hunt through hundreds of running files. The single runaway variable causing your computer to lock up is forced out into the open, sitting right at the top. Once you see that frozen application at the top of your sorted list, single-click its name so that it becomes highlighted. On Windows, simply move your cursor to the top right corner of the Task Manager and click the button labeled End Task. On a Mac, click the small X icon at the top of the Activity Monitor to trigger a confirmation prompt. From there, select Force Quit. By executing this specific command, you instruct the operating system to forcefully terminate only that single unresponsive program. This approach spares your hard drive from sudden power loss and file corruption that comes with yanking the plug or holding the physical power button. It is crucial to practice this sequence right now while your computer is running smoothly and you aren't under the stress of losing unsaved work. To run a test, go ahead and open a basic, lightweight application like Notepad on Windows or TextEdit on a Mac. Leave it open, pull up your system monitor, sort by memory or CPU, and locate that text app in the list. Highlight it and execute the Force Quit command. Performing this drill while things are calm builds mechanical muscle memory. Next time an important application locks up, your hands will know exactly how to bypass the panic response and solve the problem. This split-screen chart illustrates exactly what happens the moment you click that Force Quit button. The frozen window immediately vanishes from your screen, and the massive resource spike that was choking your processor drops right back down to a low, stable baseline. Because you didn't reboot the whole machine, every other browser tab, document, or application you had running remains completely intact. The rest of your unsaved data is perfectly safe. This approach works because it identifies the specific variable causing the failure, rather than trying random fixes and hoping for a result. Now that you know how to handle an isolated freeze, our next step is to tackle a computer that suffers from chronic sluggishness from the moment you turn it on, by deep cleaning your startup applications. With the ability to isolate and close individual software glitches, you have a reliable way to keep your system running without needing outside assistance.